Guys, my brain. You know what? I think we should just jump into it. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Diane. You are watching Itchin' Candy with Diane, which is my tutorial series, where if you have a DIY or a computer graphics itch, most likely this series will scratch it. If you do have something that you want to learn, please leave it down below in the comments. And I'd love to make videos that are catered to you guys, to guys. I would love to make videos that are catered to what you guys want to learn. Okay. Yeah. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season. I know it's not fully over yet, or maybe it is and you're just recovering. But anyway, I hope you guys had a wonderful time. Welcome to the new year. This year's it's going to be packed full of things. I know it is for me, and I hope it is for you too. Hopefully, good things, good wishes all the way around. A little bit about myself. I am a video playback graphic designer. That is my main job. And I also love making things. So that's part of why I started this channel so that I can spread that knowledge to you guys. So today, because it is the new year and this is my first video, I'm going to share with you the process of myself making a life chart. And I wanted to share that with you guys because one, I'm personally going to be using these. I really want to find sustainable balance, and I'm really hoping when I find it, my brain will be functioning better. Anywho, this is a hard, like me saying, I got to do it because I just want, I just want a better life for myself. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, guys. You've been here for like 2 seconds. I'm being emotional. Mm, my goodness. Okay. Ridiculous. Anywho, let's get to the meat of this video, okay? Let's just jump in and start creating something because we need to create. As you can see, I'm popping over to canva.com. You may be asking yourself, wait a minute, didn't you say you were a graphic designer? My answer is yes, I did, but I still recommend using Canva.com. I know this site has been pushed out there by different YouTubers and people all over, but there's good reason that people do that because Canva is actually really useful. I'm not sponsored by anybody. Okay, guys. Right now, if I promote something, it's because I personally use it and I recommend it. Now, I know there is debate over Canva versus Photoshop. What I will say is Photoshop is my go-to. Okay. It really is. Photoshop, Illustrator, the whole Adobe Creative Suite. It's really what I use. However, what I found out recently, even though I was on the side of poo-pooing Canva for a while, I finally learned that they have a lot of stuff that's very useful. And what I will say is that if you want to build something from scratch, I do recommend Photoshop. However, if you are in the state that I find myself in currently, and a lot of the time, whereas that I don't always have the ideas right there at my disposal, it's nice to go to Canva to get some ideas going. Okay. They have templates, they have different backgrounds, different shapes, different things to give you ideas of where to start. Because we all know that staring at a blank page, even if it's on a computer, can sometimes be difficult to get started with something. Okay. So yes, I am on canva.com. Now, this is basically what you see when you do sign in. This is one I set up specifically for Itchin' Candy. But what I'm going to do, because we're looking for a life chart, right? I'm going to look to see if they have any templates for that. Now, they might not, but it's worth the look, right? So I'm going to look up life chart, and I'm also going to look up printable. We'll end this. We'll make it printables. Now, I'm doing this because one of my side hustles, because I do have several, one of them is an Etsy shop. Now, I've been trying to do Etsy and my own website for a while, because of how things go with life, there's things I've only been able to kind of do here and there. But I really want to build my Etsy shop this year as I go along with, making things. I want to make them accessible to you guys. My website, I do have up right now. It's itchandcandy.com. However, if you go to it, you can't buy anything from it because I haven't been able to afford to keep it running. I basically keep it alive, and that's it. However, I don't know if I'm saying however a lot, but however, I have recently heard of free websites that I could possibly start. So I will be trying to set up that website on a free hosting site. That way I can still sell things and have them available to guys, to guys. I can have them available to you guys to actually buy rather than just having a nice looking site where you can't buy anything. This is kind of a small tangent, but on there, I've been putting things like printables, shirts that I like to design that basically feature my art. I really love making cards, so I've got those on there. I'll put the link down below just in case you want to check it out. But it's very hodgepodgey and nothing's fully flushed out. Okay. I've got like 30 printable cards and that's about it right now. And I think the majority of them are for Valentine's Day. Um, and keep in mind, they've been that way for like a year. Okay. Which brings me back to Canva and what we're making today. Why I'm looking at printables is because I want to see if there is anything that exists currently that might be useful so that I can later possibly sell it on my site. Okay. It's not a guarantee, but it's a possibility. That way, not only am I using it for myself, I can teach you guys how to make one for your own, but might as well go ahead and put it on my printable shop because I do technically have printable shop. So there we go. Now you can see, let's see, uh, what do we have on here? We have printable affirmations. We have chore charts. Those are not what I'm looking for. Finances, we're not there yet. No. A seating chart. That's not what I want. All right, guys. So it looks like we're probably going to have to make this from scratch. Not a problem. I'm going to hop over to Google Life Chart. We're going to just look for examples, okay? Let's go ahead and just say free because I don't want to take anybody's, but I do want to get a sense of what we're looking at because I've seen life charts, but I don't really know what goes on it. Because I can never quite see. I mean, you can clearly see from this video, it's not like really blown up where you can see super detail. Um, hmm. We want, so there's this one, which is on Pinterest. Not bad. Not quite what I was looking for, though. There is one on Etsy. I don't want to steal that one. We're not stealing anyway. We're going to be creating our own, but basis anyway. Wheel of Life. I guess you call it a Wheel of Life. I've just been calling it a life chart. The things you learn. Hmm. I don't want to go through all this. Let's just, do I want to use? There's emotions and feeling chart. Got all the emotions. Yes, we do. Oh, here we go. Printable Wheel of Life template. Let's try this one. Okay. Let's check this one out. Okay. I think this one might be a good one to go off of. This will get us started. What I'm going to do is I will also say this is the way I do things. I never went to school for graphic design, believe it or not. I started learning a little bit early, and in high school, I would go to the community college and I took some computer classes there. So this is just things that I have come across that work for me, and hopefully they can work for you too if you're stuck somewhere. But I like to have references. This one's a great reference for what we're doing, so I'm going to open image in a new tab. I'm going to go ahead and download this or save it. I'm going to save it to my desktop. So I'm just going to save it here. I'm going to put this down as a reference. Okay, so there I have it. Now, Canva is free if you want to start off. Clearly, it advertises Try Pro for 30 days. You print products. However, when I have access to more elaborate templates, art options, things like that, of course, you do need to pay. I currently have the monthly option, and that's because I do use it quite often. So I'm going to start off. We could just put it in the size, but you know what? We'll make it simple. I'm going to make it an 8.5 by 11 so that I can print it out. So we're going to start there. It does have some guides that you will be able to see, but I'm just going to turn them off because you know what? We don't need them. Not right now. I am going to go over to elements though. And you know what? Just so that I can see what we're doing here, I'm going to open this with preview. And I'm going to have it sitting over here, just so we can take a look at it for reference. Okay. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I've got like a hard drive, an external hard drive sitting on top of my computer, and it rocks back and forth sometimes. Let's just see all shapes, shall we? I think that's good. There's a few more than we want. This does have none. Dilemmas. Let's go with the extra. Okay, we'll go with the extra. To make this bigger, I hit Shift and the Option key, which is usually the one just left of the Command key, which has that. I don't know what you call it, but it's like this. Hold those at the same time. You can enlarge or make smaller what you want to change. And then up here, we can change the color. We go ahead and make the inside nothing. And we're going to make it have an outer line. The outer line. We're going to make it have a border. I kind of like the thickness of it. It makes me think of a little comic-y. But you know what? We'll bring it down a little bit. Not happy yet. Bring it down again. That looks all right. I'm going to go ahead and center this. Save position. Oh, it looks like it's already centered. Voila. We don't have to do anything. Now we're going to go and get another element. I want to get a line. And let's trash that. Let's start with the circle in the middle. There. Now this circle, we're going to also make the inside nothing. We're going to give it a border of 2. And we're going to size this down again by hitting Shift and the Option key. Mine also says Start key. We're going to make it a 1 by 1. That seems like a good place to start. We'll see if we need to change it down the road, but for now, that looks all right. We're going to get our line and then start making some areas. Now, I do notice, and maybe you guys know this and I don't, but I do find you can see how it's automatically choosing spots for me. And I'm a big fan of that. It does help on occasion, but I would like to have a little bit more control over it. I could get a little bit more control by zooming in, but for right now, I'm just going to actually put that right there. We'll zoom in a little bit to get this a little bit more accurate. Here. And then click off of it to see if that worked. Yeah, it worked all right. We're going to make the line smaller line. Go ahead and make it a 1, see if that's too small. Ooh, a little too small. Go back to 2. Let's do 1.5. There we go. Okay. So we need to make 10 different sections. And I'm going to keep on doing this with the lines until I have those 10 sections. Why isn't that changing anything? Weird. Okay. I can select both of these lines now that I've got two. I want to hit Command or Alt and C to copy, and then I'm going to hit Alt V to paste. You'll notice it create another one. That's just a little shortcut for copy and paste. And that applies to whatever software you're using. It's actually quite useful. I do want to rotate this. I believe I'm going to go to position. Let's see. Yes, there is a rotate. So we're going to go ahead and rotate this 180 degrees. No, I forgot a step. We're going to go back. By going back, this also applies to any software that you use. You can hit Command Z, and usually it will go back one step or redo what you just did. Like me, who made a mistake. So I want to group this together, these two lines. That way, when I go to rotate, they will actually rotate where I want them to. Voila. They weren't upside down. Fantastic. So there we go. Now I've got, 4 sections. We're going to keep on going. I'm going to go ahead. I think I'm going to group these guys and these guys. And I'm going to copy and paste by again hitting Command C, Command V. And then I'm going to go over. I'm going to rotate them 90. I'm going to center them. Let's see how our sections are starting to appear. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 8. We need 2 more. They don't really need to be even. I mean, yes, ideally, we would like them to be even because the whole point of finding a balance is that all areas of your life are balanced, and so they would be equal. But you know what? This is just for our sense of organizing and to get kind of a better understanding of where things are going right now. So I'm not going to hang up on the fact that they're not going to be even sections. I'm just not going to do it. No, sir. Don't like it. I do want another line though. So where do I want to put those other sections? I'm going to put them down here. Now, the reason I'm putting them down here doesn't really matter. You know what? It's my own personal chart. Oh, it keeps bouncing me back and forth, guys. Oh my gosh. OMG. Oh, I don't like that. I'm going to ungroup this and see if that changes. Okay, that changed things. I did not like that at all. That was not a good thing. Okay, so this is what I was saying. This is a personal thing. So you can make your chart however you want. It doesn't have to be this shape, it doesn't have to be these colors or this font or anything like that. That's the beauty of creating something is you can make it whatever you want. I am going to rotate this. Nah, not going to mess with rotation. Sometimes rotating stuff is fine, but it can also did it to me again. Oh, gee. Sometimes rotating helps, and sometimes it's just easier to go about it freestyle. So I just zoomed in. There's this little toggle at the bottom. I zoomed in, and now I'm going to hopefully hit space and move. Nope, that didn't help. Okay, never mind. Scratch that. We're just going to use these. Oh my gosh, what you call them? Scroll bars. There we go. It's closer. Not perfect, but you know what? What is? All right, now I'm going to zoom back out. We're going to do fit We might zoom in a little bit more just because I wants to. Hey guys, it's Different Me. I just wanted to stop for a second and say thank you for watching. I really, really appreciate it. If you like what you're watching, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to continue to see more and follow along with me, then please do subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I am starting my YouTube journey, and things could be a little bumpy, but you know what? We're going to keep on going up, and we're going to keep on providing better content. So please do stick around, and I will see you soon. Oh, and before I forget, if you have a question, go ahead and leave it down in the comments below. I will read all of them and respond as much as possible. So please do leave me a comment, even if it's like, dude, you need to get yourself together. I am open to it, okay? So leave it below. Thanks. Let's get back to the show. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 slots. We're going to go back to the circle here. I'm going to drink some coffee. Okay, I'm going to go back to the circle here. And we're actually going to go to position, which would be underneath these dots now because we've hidden everything. And here you can see you can adjust their position in your document, okay? So right now it's basically where we built it, we built it before the line, so it's essentially behind the lines. We're just going to move this forward. And the easiest thing is you can keep on hitting forward if you want. You can also, because we want to edit it, we're going to just click on this, which hops you straight to the front. And then we're going to change the color in the middle of the circle. Now I'm going to change it to white, and this should hide our lines in the middle. Voila, it did exactly that. So now when I look at it, it looks like a flower, a very pointy, uneven flower. But it's exactly what we need, so we're going to go with it. Now, you'll notice over here in our reference, we've got numbers, we've got more circles. We also have these outer lines, which basically just piece out what this title of each section is. So we've got those things to make. I'm going to say, let's go ahead and make the circles because that seems like a good place to start. We need 10 circles, right? 10 or 9. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We need 9 circles. So I'm going to go back to our circle in the middle. I'm going to hit Command C. I'm going to hit Command V. Oh no, it did not copy it. Let's try that again. Clicking on the circle, Command C, Command V. Voila, we've got our circle. Now I'm going to put it back in the middle, but I am going to change the middle section of it. I'm going to hit color, and then we're going to go to no color in the middle. Now right now, you can't tell what it did. However, when we start to make it bigger, it's going to be more obvious. So right now it's 1 by 1. I'm going to size it up. You can see how it's making the difference where we can still see the lines through it. Yeah, let's just make it roughly 1.4 and see if we can't fit everything we need to inside the shape that we've created. Again, now that I have this one clicked on, I'm going to hit Command C, Command V to paste, and go back here. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. We're going to make it 1.8. So we basically are making these 0.4 separations within it. You might see me once in a while clicking on the outer circle and then moving it forward or backward. That's so that I can check to see if it's the size I want it to in comparison to the circle before. Because remember, wherever you make a design, the more steps you take, the more you're building on top of that design. So I have to move the circle that I just pasted behind the other one, behind the other one, so that I can check its size. And then move that behind the bigger circle so I can adjust it again. So if you see me doing that, that's why I'm doing that, is because they constantly are the layers that you have to switch behind in order to adjust previous layers. Now, please let me know if that's too confusing because I just said it and it kind of confused me. I'm not going to lie. See, I couldn't remember the size of this, and now I have to go back. So I hit backward. Now the second circle should be there. No, that's not the one I want. I can't get a hold of this one. I don't know why. What? We're gonna go with it. It doesn't need to be perfect. I think that's about even. I feel like I got off there at one point, but it's good enough. I'm also going to take this time to go around and select these lines. I think I've selected them. Did I select them all? Going to go around. Oh, it's not going to let me. Let me see. Okay. Now, one thing about Canva that I do like is that I can basically pick a layer or an item on a layer and I can lock it. So I'm happy with this outer line. I'm going to go ahead and click on it and I'm going to lock it. Now that means that when I go to select stuff, you'll see there's no highlighting or selecting of that outer design, that outer star shape, which is very handy, especially right now, because what I'm trying to do is I want to lock everything in place but the circles. Let's see if it will allow me to select them. I'm going to try to group as many of these lines as I possibly can. That one, you can see how it highlights the circle, the outer one. It won't let me select that line behind it because it's covering it too much. But this one I can select. And this one. This one again, I can't select it because the circle is highlighted and it's overlapping the line too much. White pressure, I can't grab that line. But now where I've got the lines highlighted, I'm going to group them together, which is awesome. And then I'm going to go ahead and lock them. Now, the only issues for the line should be this line here and this line here. But otherwise, we should be good to mess with these circles. Now I've got, let's just double check it with our reference. Got the inner circle, but then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 circles. Here we've got our inner circle, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. Now I could from here, I could adjust the circles if I wanted to make them a little bit bigger, but for now, I'm just going to leave them. I think what I left is good enough for me. But I am going to go over here. I'm going to go, you see how if I go too far down, it selects those two lines. I don't want that. I just want the circles. So I'm going to go to where those lines aren't selected. And then now I have all my circles selected all in one, and I'm going to group them like so. So now if I go and I move my circle, you can see how it moves all those circles move by themselves. And I'm kind of getting dizzy. So I'm going to move those a little bit just so I can grab these lines as well. Go back. I don't know what it just selected. Not sure. Let's try that again, shall we? Okay. So I'm going to grab this line. I'm going to grab this line. And then I'm going to grab the other lines. I believe that's what it's trying to grab. I unlocked it. Now I should be able to grab all the lines. But yes. Now I can grab, no. Fine. That's it. Okay, our star is still locked. Okay, so when I grab this line, it's giving me the option to ungroup. Apparently, in order to add these other lines to it, now I have to ungroup. I'm going to select those lines. And now we see all of my lines are selected. Now I'm going to group them again. and I'm going to lock them. And then I want to move my circle back to the center. You might ask why I did that. Now, I don't know moving forward if anything that we do is going to affect what we've already created, but I want to be prepared. And that goes for any software that I use. If I can make steps that will later down the road help me out, better to try to do those upfront when I'm thinking about it. That way I don't get down the road to think, oh no, I need to edit something. And because of how I made it beforehand, I couldn't do it. It would take extra steps, extra time. And we don't have that. So that's why I did that. Moving on with it, we can go to our pie chart reference. Now it's got these extra lines. I'm going to go ahead and put those lines in. Why not? Sounds like a good idea. I want to go over to our recently used tab. It's still here just in case this area doesn't show up. Say your screen looks like this. Not a big issue. You can always go back to elements, which is what was open before. You can click on it. You'll notice it will automatically put it into your screen so that it will constantly be there as it has been for most of our tutorials so far. I'm going to see if I can't close it. Just select that. It disappears. All right, so that makes it a little bit cleaner viewing experience. You can select an element without having the sidebar constantly in your view, which is very nice. I do like that. All right, let's start off with our line. I want to kind of put it in between. It's not going to be all the way up. It's going to be kind of in between. I kind of dig that. Yeah, I think that would be good. Maybe we might lower it a little bit just so it seems like it's more in line with these circles. I'm going to go ahead and adjust the weight of the line. I'm going to make it 1.5 like the other ones. Of course, it did not change it, so I'm going to move the bar over here. And, keep it with 2. Sure. That looks all right. If it's easier for the program, we'll go with it. I'm going to adjust it so it fits within the space. For that, I am zooming in, just this bar down here again. And as we learned before, I can't hold space. Like I can't hold the space bar and move my screen to see what I'm seeing, to change my view on the screen. But I can use the scroll bar, so I'm going to do that. When I click off for a second, it looks like this line is connecting fully to these 2 lines. So I think we're okay there. And I'm just going to move on. Now for this, I'm going to copy and paste this. Even though I'm going to change an aspect to it, I'm not going to use the rotation because I think that would just give us more of a headache than we really need, to be honest. And you know what, guys? This might not actually end up working. I might have to move it. Because if I really want to have it be even, yeah, that's just not going to work out. So we really need to make this one our first line. Let's go to let's adjust it. We'll go here. We'll make it a little bit longer. Where are you going? There, okay. Bring this down here. Yeah, okay, that's going to work better. It's all right if your ideas change, if something doesn't quite work out the way you thought it would. Just in life, it's okay. And we can fix it. It might be that you actually like what it does or changes into a little bit better. You never know. So changes and mistakes can be a good thing. I think that might be as accurate as I can get, which kind of irks me a little bit just because I like detail and I'm slightly a perfectionist when it comes to things like this, but you know what? It's all right because we just talked about how it was all right. Remove this line. It does end up making this big space. I don't fully hate it. We'll see how it looks when we're all done. I'm going to zoom out so that I can see more of it. You know what? I can live with it. We can rock with it. I'm going to copy and paste this one. I think that would be possibly the easiest thing to do. I don't know. We'll see if it works out to be the easiest thing. I'm just rotating it. This is another option too. you'll see that there's like this like little icon. It's a rotate icon. You can click it and then rotate, and it shows you how many degrees you're rotating. We want to go 180. Yeah. We're doing 130. I think 130. That seems more accurate. No? Guys, I was wrong. We'll keep on going. Okay. About 135. That is close. Got us somewhat close. We'll zoom in, get a little bit more accurate. And oof, it works. It works. So that was a 135-degree rotation. That's what that was. Looks kind of silly. But you know what? I'm not opposed to silly. Let's zoom in. Or move over just because it helps us out with our view. Voila. I'm going to change the weight to 2. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. It'll work. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Now, because we do have another one on this side, I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that one and bring it over here, like so. I'm going to grab this line, copy, paste it, because we have one down here. And I can't really copy and paste these two along with it because we aren't dividing this sucker right here. But I can do this. I can copy, paste, and I can adjust it like so. Zoom in. Can I move it? There's my scroll bar. Okay. Moved it. Voila. We're getting closer to having all of our lines done, which is super satisfying. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I don't hate it. I don't necessarily fully like it, but I don't hate it. There we go. A few other adjustments, just because if I can. It's not letting me because this one is not long enough. See if that works. Nope, it went to the exact same spot. So you know what? It is what it is. I'm going to accept that. Oh, I forgot to put one over here, guys. Huh. All right. Okay. Take this line. I'm going to copy and paste it. I'm going to adjust this. Voila. We'll just zoom out. That's easy, right? We're zooming out. We're grooving. Yeah. So here we go. We've got our funky little life chart, our wheel chart, our life wheel chart, Wheel of Life. There we go. That's what we call it because that's what our reference is. Cheers. Now we're ready to put in our numbers, and it looks like we're ready to put in our titles. I'm going to go over here to text. You can add a text box, which is definitely what we want. It brings up this nifty little text box for us. And we're going to go ahead. Let's start with spirituality. I'm going to move this right now because I can't read it. I can't read it at all. So that makes it more visible to us and where I can actually read it. I'm going to make the size a little bit smaller. I'm okay with the placement of it, but I do want to see if there's other fonts we can use. So I click where it says Canva Sans. That's just the font that they automatically choose for you. If you click it, you can change it. It opens up this tab. And also probably, I don't know if that, there's a, no, it doesn't really show it there. So you definitely have to click on this font here in order to change the font. You know what? I'm going to go with, what have I been into lately? I've been into, there's one called Brixton. Try that. Let's see how that looks. It's okay. It's okay. I don't. Maybe I'll just save that for something else. We'll do something else. Now you can tell that there's several different options here. You can click through. You can choose what you want. If you want a bold font, if you want a rounded font, all of that kind of stuff. I'm I'm really kind of looking more for a sans serif, so I'm going to click on that. And you can see they have a lot of different options, which is fantastic. It might kind of sound a little bit boring, but I kind of know what font I already want to go for. If I can find it, I might have to type it in. But it's not where I thought it would be. Mm, oop, was that it? Ah, I lost my place, guys. OMG, I lost it. Okay, I'm just going to type it in. When I clear that, open source. Let's see. Oh, they do have it. Okay. Here we go. Open source. That's what I want. And I do want to adjust the size of it. Regular's fine. Actually, I'm going to go with medium. I want to adjust the spacing. So if I click on this guy, you see up here we've got different options, of course. The one with the arrows by it, that's your spacing. It has line spacing and has letter spacing. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to anchor one, the letters in the middle of its box. This won't take effect and it won't really change the one that we're on, but it could come in handy later. So I'm going to go ahead and select it. Now, letter spacing. I do want my letters to be spaced out a bit. It's kind of hard to see because they put this box right where we're trying to look, so we might have to move our art down a bit so that we can actually see what we're doing. There we go. You can see now it's like changing the spacing between the letters. Makes it a little bit easier to read. I don't want it super big, but I do want it a wee bit. I'm going to do 15 and hit return. And we'll go to line spacing right now because there really is no line to judge. There we go, we've got one. Now I'm going to make another one. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this one. That way it's automatic, a style transfer. I don't have to deal with that. It's already done. All I have to do is type in my next one, which is money. We'll do money. I'll do the plus sign. I like using the plus sign. It's fun. I want to adjust the box here just a wee bit so that I can actually read it. And then I'm going to rotate it to where it looks kind of even. 45 degrees, that seems about right because that's typically an angle, right? 45 degrees an angle makes sense. And I'm kind of just eyeballing it because we do have this kind of funky, weird star. I'm trying to line it up here with this point here because I know that point is in the middle. And it's not bad. We'll copy and paste it. We'll bring our other one over here. We'll rotate it 135 if it lets me. No, it's doing it. It's doing the opposite now. Now it's saying for negative 45, which makes sense. It's much more useful. And I line it up again with that point so that you can see it. Now, don't be thrown off. You see these purple outlines everywhere. That's just the software giving you options as to what you can click on, what is edible, essentially. I do find it slightly annoying. I haven't found an option to be able to turn that off as of yet. If somebody does know, please let me know down below. Like I said, I know graphics and I know art, I know designing, but this software is relatively new to me, so I'm constantly learning. And I would love any feedback whatsoever. That goes for other software too. Okay. Oh, well, I need to change this, don't I? Okay, money, we don't want too money in finances. So I'm going to change this to personal growth and learning. Personal, oh, oh no. Okay, there we go. Now we're selected on it. Personal growth and when I hit return, there's our second line and learning. This whole section might be actually big enough. We'll try it out. Might be big enough we can just widen this out. Yep. Okay. But we can widen it out. That way it fits all in there. We don't have to do 2 lines, which I kind of like. Kind of looks good. And kind of tried to center it for us. Works out. It basically means we have to lower this again if we want to make it even. Yeah, okay. I'm okay with that. I'm going to take this one, going to copy it and paste it, bring it over. We'll just drop it down here. Start with the easy one, right? I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste these where I want them to be, and then I can go back and just hit my elbow on the chair. We can go back and edit what they actually say. Now I am going to go ahead and I want to select these two. So you have something like this where you have two words that you want to align. This goes with objects as well. If you want to align them, you can go to position and you can hit center or middle. Now, middle is really what I was going to select because I have two elements selected. They would position themselves accordingly to each other and not the canvas. But because middle is not an option right now, it's telling me that they're automatically already aligned correctly. So I'm going to leave those be. I want to unclick position so I can see my screen again. And I might be able to adjust this now just a tiny bit. There we go. All right. I think those things are where I want. I want to zoom out, see where we're at, what we're dealing with. Cool. All the words look kind of where I want them to be. They're in the direction I want them to be, the size, font, all that stuff. But I do need to go in and change the names of the categories because clearly we don't want an entire Wheel of Life with only spirituality as the goal. That is no, no, no. Okay, so my spelling is right, partner and love. You can see how it automatically adjusted. Uh, that's not a bad thing. We're okay with that, but I do want to adjust the line because I'm not fully in love with how much space is in between the lines. That looks better. 1.25. That we can roll with. But now I have to adjust where it is because it is going to post the line. We want that little gap there. Yeah, that works. I'll zoom back out. On to the next one. Probably have to do the same thing for this one. Health and fitness. Yes, we are. So we have just the line. We had it at 1.25. Hit return. Automatically does that for us, which is very nice. We'll zoom back in so we can adjust it off this line. Like so. These are probably all going to need it. So you know what? Since I have it all selected already, I'm going to go ahead and change that line spacing. Can't see it now, but we will be able to see it. When we hit this one by hitting shift and click will automatically allow me to select all of those together. Go to line spacing, change the line spacing to 1.25, hit return, and we should be good from now on to tackle those. We'll find out. Fun and recreation. We'll adjust this. I need to double click on it to edit it. Environment. Environment. And let me zoom this out. I zoom out. We adjust the text box so that it fits where we want. It fits the entire word. That's what I was trying to say. It fits the entire word, world. I need more coffee. I just had some coffee. Now we can adjust it a tiny bit. Good. We're going to change this one to community. Oops, community. There we go. This one too. And friends. And on that one, I hit return. You don't have to, but I hit return on it initially. Yeah, adjust it off that line. I'm going to make this a little bit tinier just so that I can get off that line a little bit more. This line. I'm trying to increase the space between the text box and this line. I'm okay with that, but let's see. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sections, but apparently I can't count. 2, 3, 4, 5. What am I missing here? I feel like this is a moment where somebody would be like, do you spot the missing item? Do you spot the item that would be too many? I'm having trouble seeing it. Oh, I see it. I've got a career in work. Well, that's kind of important. So, how do I want to go about this? Got family and friends. Just move community over here. Community. Community. We'll make this environment. And I'll make this fun. I think fun and recreation needs to remain a smaller section. So that's why we're doing it this way. Recreation. Go on. I want to highlight them all and check. We're still at 1.25, so that's good. But it's not exactly where I want it to be. Close this up a little bit so we can still see the words, but that we're off that line just a bit. Yeah, that looks all right. I'm going to change this one to health and fitness. I will say, I think another shape would have given us more space. So if you are a visual person, you essentially want to be able to just at a glance look at your Wheel of Life chart and see this is a really big important part of my life versus something that's a smaller area. I can see how having that different shape could allow you to do that. Right now I'm changing this part to career and work. I usually have multiple jobs that I juggle. And it's just to make ends meet, and that's where I'm at. So I would have personally preferred to have the career and work probably a little bit bigger, but I can still use this to my advantage because it's ultimately not the size of the pie. It's not like this, it's not the size of the pie that matters. It's the information within that pie slice. I also would have liked these to all be even. I'll be honest. Now that I look at this, guys, I wish it was even. I wish it was even. It's okay. It's a different chart and it will work for our needs right now. Let's continue. I think we're getting close to actually being done, but we need the number. Yes, we need all of the numbers. So we'll add those in. Let's go ahead and just copy and paste this guy first. And we'll start off with 10. That way we have the same font, all that stuff. You can see though, it's not even at all. So I think to make this easier on myself for typing, I'm going to select all my graphics if I can do that. Let's see if I can. I have not made these lines a part of anything yet. I'm going to select them and then I'm going to group them. Can't select it. Is it selected? I can't tell. I have to zoom in. Nope. All right, so we're going to go ahead and group these as they are, and then I'll add in those last pieces if I can. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Okay. Can I select that now? There we go. Okay. Now, if you're hovering over something, we know now that the system changes it to like a purple, like a bluish purple, which means now I know it's highlighted versus not being highlighted. And now we can group them all together. It gives us this great shape. Then I should be able to select my star. We'll unlock the star to begin with. And then we'll group it. And then I'm going to take our funky star with those lines that highlight our titles. I'm going to send those to the back. And then it's going to allow me to select. Okay. Now I can select my circles. And I'm going to be able to select my lines that lead into the circles. I'm going to unlock them so that I can group them together. And while I'm at it, you know what? I'm going to unlock that star. That way I can just go ahead and group all of these things together. I think this should work. Let's see what that is. Okay. Undo. I didn't know what I had selected, guys. And group those. It's all together. All right. We're all together. We're good. Now I have all of the lines and graphic elements. I have those all in one layer grouped together. So now I can move it around as you saw before, and it leaves our words, which makes editing the words a lot easier. I am going to go ahead and position this again because I don't think I put it back where it was. Okay, click middle. It looks like it's already centered vertically. So we're all good there. So now what I can do is I can copy and paste, make all my numbers go down. 9. I'm going to, oh, no, I'm going to move those down here. I might just zoom in for this just to make it easier on myself. And so I've got 9. 7. I'm going to go ahead and copy all of these and paste them. Bring them down here. Got 6. We got 5. 4. 3. We need 2 more. Copy, paste. Copy and pasting and Command Z are your best friends for life. Now, as I go through the circles, I kind of feel like the numbers are a bit big. I might size them down a bit. I'm going to select all of them. Yeah. Go ahead and lock that back layer so it's not moving on us. All right, now I should be able to select them all. There we go. I'm going to change the size. I'm going to size them down 1. I think that should be okay, right? I'm going to go over to the position. I'm going to center them all vertically. You can see how they automatically jump into that position. I want to do that so you can see again. You can see how they're not aligned right now. I hit center and it lines them up automatically in the vertical center. Now there's another thing that is quite handy. You see space evenly. So since we have things vertically, I'm going to go ahead and hit that one and you'll see it evens them out. So now they look nicer. They look a lot cleaner, spaced out. Unfortunately, they're not entirely how we want them spaced, but that's okay. That's fixable. I have to zoom in again because the stuff is so tiny right now. Or just where it's at. That looks about where I want it in the center. Now I'm going to check to see if this is in the middle now. Yeah, it's in the vertical center, so I think I'm okay. I'll do the first one and I'll do the last one. And hopefully, even though this last one doesn't really have like an outer line, hopefully then when I go to select them all, they will even out. See how close did we get? Well, we got pretty close. They're all readable and just a tiny bit. So now I have them all even. You can see if I zoom out, they're all even. They're all in the middle of where our circles create this little space. Because I like the look of them, all of those numbers, I'm going to go ahead and group them together, make it a lot easier moving them, copying them, also aligning them. I'm going to go ahead and align them with the spirituality. It says to align. All right, we'll go with it. So in that case, we can go ahead and move on to copying and pasting. I'm going to copy, paste. I'm going to do this one first because I think it could be potentially the easiest. We'll see. So if you're wondering, the down arrow and the up arrow do not actually move the object that you're trying to move. They move your view on the canvas. So instead of hitting the scroll bar, down arrow, up arrow moves what you see. Now clearly we can't leave them like this because all the ones need to be in the center of the circle. So I'm going to rotate this 180 degrees. We'll zoom out. And that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to go ahead, zoom through this, and fill in the rest of the circle. All right, guys. So I think we have it. We have our full chart here. I want to put a title to it because I don't want to just leave it alone. I kind of want to change the color for it, maybe make it a little bit nicer. So I'm going to zoom through that. Now, like I said, you can change anything about your design. That's the beauty of designing, right? I think if I were to remake this, I would probably make it a different shape, but it's perfect for what I need to use it for at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, zoom through it a bit, and show you the final design. If any moment that I zoom through you want more of a clearer explanation on, please do let me know in the comments below. I'd be happy to expand my explanation on things or even do another video that's similar to this one, okay? there you have it. We now have a full blown professional looking life chart or wheel of life. And I think it works for our purposes, but I think it could also work for other people. And if you do end up making this, please let me know if it works for you and how you found the process. I'd love to know if you had an okay time or an easy time using Canva. Like I said, it is free to try and it's free to use up to a certain extent. I should mention too that as you'll be able to see on the screen here, I did go ahead and put in two other areas. I put in top areas of focus just so I have a clear view as to what my top three areas are. And then I also added a note section. Now, now that I look at it, I'm a little picky. I kind of been looking at the note section and the areas of focus, and I have them aligned horizontally in the middle, but I don't kind of like that now that I look at it again. So I'm going to unlock that level. I'm just going to go ahead, make sure that are they grouped? Yeah, they're all grouped. So I'm going to ungroup them. I'm going to group them individually as their sections so that I can position them how I want. I think I'm going to align them from the top. Let's see that. Yeah, that works a lot better for me. So now I can go ahead and group those guys again. So there it is, fully realized. We went from our reference to our final product. I'm happy with it and I'm going to go ahead and print mine off. Now I will make this available. Eventually it will be available on my Etsy shop. If say you don't want to go through the process of making this or you liked the process of making it, but for some reason you want to give this to somebody or not, I'm just letting you know it's going to be out there. Absolutely no pressure. But I think once I do complete making something, I will make it available for you guys to purchase outside of it because it's an option. It's not just an option for me, but it's also an option for you guys. Say you want to start your own printable business or your own graphic design business. Basically, you can take what you learned here today, make your own things and sell them if that's something that you have interest in or want to do. Otherwise, they're great for personal use and you can just use these tools as you see fit. Canva has an option where you can print things out like on cardstock, on professional looking paper. If you want to create a book with all the things that you've made, you can do so on Canva and you can have it ordered and shipped to you. You can make a notepad. I mean, it's really great, the services that they offer. Personal preference at this moment, I'm just going to go ahead and download file. You'll see that they give us several different options of what to do. I'm going to do PDF and color profile. RGB is usually what I use for video playback graphics, but because it's going to be a print, I'm going to switch it to CMYK. Now, I'm doing this off my own account, I believe, right? No, it's not. Oh, I take it back. Guys, I did not make this on my own account. I made this one on an Itch and Candy account. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. But I do like that picture. That's a good picture. I'm going to say that. Let's see. I'm just going to go ahead and save it to my desktop. So I like this picture, guys. I'm going to make this, what I call it, my life chart, printable view one. Okay. For now, I'm going to save it like that. So up here, I'm going to hit share. I'm going to go to download PDF print. Well, okay, so it was explaining RGB versus CMYK. CMYK is really what all professional printing uses. As you can clearly see, best for professional printing. But because right now that's not an option because you see this little crown, that means that you purchased one of their memberships and you can download it. I did make a different Canva account specifically to make this video. So this option is not available to me because I don't want to buy 2 monthly subscriptions. I'm sorry, I just don't. So I'm not going to save it as CM1K at this time. I'm going to save it as an RGB. RGB is fine for personal and digital use. And honestly, sometimes most people wouldn't be able to tell the difference anyway if you printed it out. So it's fine. We're going to use RGB. However, I will say if you do have the monthly service, I would prefer to use CMYK. Set it up. Okay. Save download settings. That's fine. I don't really care about that. So I'm going to go ahead and download. It's downloading. You can see it's titling it spirituality for some reason. I guess it just pulled one of our words from it. I don't like the title of it, but I'll change this here right now just for my purposes for later. Let's say version 1, V1. All right. So now forever it will live in our Canva as My Life Chart 2025 version 1. And if I go back to the home, we can see projects. Voila, it shows up in our recent designs. So that's great. I'm going to bring it back up, close this window, go to my downloads. It titled it spirituality. I don't like that name. I'm going to go ahead and change it again to Itch and Candy. You can tell it whatever you want. This is how I'm going to say my name. We've got Itch and Candy. We've got My Life Chart. It's 2025. I'm going to say it's a printable because it is. And I'm going to say V1. Voila, I saved it. I'm going to go ahead and drag it to my desktop for now, just because I find it easier to find things and then I can go back later and organize it. Now, I don't recommend this for everything that you download or create, but for our purposes right now, it's pretty handy. I'm going to go ahead and close our Wheel of Life here. We don't need it anymore, so when I say quit, that was our reference, by the way, not the one we created. You can see right here, this is where it saved it to, the one that we created. So I'm going to open that up. I double clicked. Now it's opening up. We'll wait for it to open. There we go. Drag this open. Now I'm ready to print. So I have Adobe Acrobat because I use the Adobe Creative Suite for work. It's part of that price. They do monthly pricing now. There are ways around this if you don't have Adobe. So if you don't have Adobe Acrobat, what I would do is I would open this up in Preview, and then I would print it from Preview. And when I say all of this stuff, guys, I'm working off the Mac right now, so that's the language I will speak is Mac. I do know my way around a PC, but I don't have one at the moment, so I can't teach you anything from a PC point of view. But on a Mac, they have Preview. It makes it very simple to actually open up a document or a graphic and print it from there. I will say, depending on which software you use, the printing details might be a bit different. So just keep that in mind. If you print something out, it's not exactly how you want it to look. It could be something that's a setting in the software you're using. So you just have to play around with it until you're happy with how it prints out basically. But for right now, we're in Adobe Acrobat and I'm going to go print. So I've got this option. I have to move my camera so I can see there we go. Okay. So I go up to File, I'm going to Print, or you can do Command P. I like doing this version, or I like doing this step better than just seeing the print icon up here because it allows me to see more options. I find that sometimes when I just click the print button, it defaults to some settings I don't really like, and I'd rather avoid the errors. So I just go to the File Print option. Oh yeah, I think we're all good, so I'm going to go ahead and print that. And there we have it, guys. That's our tutorial for today. Here's how it prints it out. I'm very happy. The only thing that I was kind of surprised with is I thought I had gotten enough color on the background to make it different than white, but apparently the printer said, no, and it went ahead and printed white anyway, or did it print a color, I should say. So the whole background's white. There's no white frame around a somewhat beige background, which is fine. I like how it looks. I hope you guys like it too. Anyway, guys, I hope you learned something today. It was really fun to make this tutorial for you. Please hit the like button if you liked the video. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Leave me a comment below if you liked the video, if you didn't like the video, if you thought my graphic was just downright horrible and you want to see a different tutorial. Let me know below. I'm really excited about having this channel and exploring this avenue with you guys. I am going to go ahead and fill out my like chart. I'm going to say that for a different video because I feel like it's more of like a vlog rather than a tutorial. And I feel like we have completed our mission here today. So if you do want to see that vlog, I'll make sure once it's posted to link it down below. All right, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.